Denmark speaking. I am 16,576 square miles in area and have 4 million inhabitants. I consist of the peninsula of Jutland and about 500 islands. My coastline is 4,622 miles long, but I have a frontier of only 42 miles. I have a truly maritime climate. I am a democratic, constitutional monarchy. 3/4 of my land is used for farming. 1/2 of my population lives in the country. 1/3 of the population works on the land. Farming is my main industry.
Thank you, Denmark. I could have looked up all these facts before I came. But just let me see you the way all your other tourists do.
Right. I'll begin by saying, welcome to Denmark. You come to Denmark in the spring, the time of the light nights, when nature wakens from its winter sleep to prepare for the lovely summer months ahead. Along the coast, we meet the yachtsmen, giving their boats a last coat of paint and a thorough overhaul before putting out to sea. Summer will soon be here. With the first spell of warm sunshine, the young men and women cannot resist the pull of the sea. Everywhere, quite a different form of water sport is tunny fishing in the Øresund. The patient fishermen sit for hours on end with their nylon lines waiting for a bite. Often they're disappointed, but it is a proud moment for the man who succeeds in hauling on board the huge monster of a tunny after an hour or so of thrilling struggle. Out here in the Øresund, let us look towards the coast. At the narrowest part of the sound lies the old castle of Kronborg. It is not more than 100 years ago that all ships passing down through the sound had to pay a toll. And the cannons on the ramparts saw to it that no vessel slipped through without paying. The toll was lifted in 1857, but to this very day the old and tarnished bronze cannons look out over the sound. The ancient castle is now a great tourist attraction, known throughout the world as the scene of Shakespeare's Hamlet. Another historical building is Roskilde Cathedral, the burial place of nearly all the kings of Denmark. The chapel of Frederick V, the chapel of Christian I, with its beautiful marble sarcophagi. And the chapel of Christian IV, containing the large picture of the wounded king whom we sing about in our national anthem. Roskilde Cathedral was founded in 1170, and here is another church from the same period. Kalundborg Church, with its 5 spires, is unique. Køge is a town of lovely old half-timbered houses. Here, too, you will find the smallest house in Denmark. Farther south lies the market town of Vordingborg. High above the ruins of the old castle stands the goose tower with its golden goose. a reminder of Denmark's greatness in the Middle Ages. Now let us go to Møns Klint, the chalk cliffs on the island of Møn. On the way we pass the delightful miniature castle of Liselund. The chalk cliffs on Møn are a geological outcrop, an exposed part of Denmark's substratum. Far away to the southeast lies the little island of Bornholm, a miniature Scandinavia. The ruins of the old castle, Hammershus, built on the top of a steep cliff, are well known. Bornholm is famous for its smoked herrings and the unique round churches, which in bygone days were also used as strongholds. Bornholm has everything one could possibly wish for, from picturesque old towns to lovely open beaches. Now let's travel by the so-called lightning train across the Great Belt to Fünen. Notice how quickly we leave when the train has boarded the ferry.
How long does it take?
Oh, usually about a minute. Yes, we're off.
What are we going to see on Fünen?
You probably know already that Denmark's great writer of fairy tales, Hans Christian Andersen, was born on Fünen. But let's start by looking at the countryside.
Now, what about Hans Andersen?
This river passes through Odense, the town where Hans Andersen was born.
Yes?
Yes, I suppose every child in the world who has read the fairy tales knows that. Let's have a look at the house where he was born. Here it is. Inside, there are mural paintings by Larsen Stones showing the writer's life. Hans Andersen's hat and his luggage. And from Fünen, we go to Jutland. All road and rail traffic to Jutland passes over the Little Belt Bridge. Now let's go by train to Aarhus, the capital of Jutland. Here we are in Aarhus.
It looks like a very modern town.
Yes, it's a mixture of old and new. The old you will find in the open-air museum called the Old Town. The buildings have been brought from all over Denmark to give a picture of Danish life and culture 2 or 3 centuries earlier. But here in Denmark, we have plenty of visible evidence of a much older culture which goes back many thousands of years. All these barrows are from the Stone Age. A dolmen or cromlech from the same period. A monolith from the late Stone Age. A Danish Viking ship preserved at Ladby. The 1,000-year-old Jellinger stone, a memorial to one of the first Danish kings. Trelleborg, the Vikings lived in barracks like these. But here, of a somewhat later date, are beautiful old manor houses. Now let's go to the oldest town in Denmark, Ribe. In the center of the town stands the 800-year-old cathedral, surrounded by picturesque, old, half-timbered houses and idyllic cobbled streets, each house with a tale of its own. Ribe is also called the town of the storks. The inhabitants are very fond of their storks and feel just as proud as Mother Stork when the young ones make their first flight. You know what they say about the stork.
Oh, everybody knows that.
Not far from the old town of Ribe lies the modern town of Esbjerg with its fine fishing harbour. From far-off fishing grounds, the trawlers come to Esbjerg to unload their precious cargo of fresh fish. Large refrigerator vans take the fish far into Europe. Denmark's most northerly point is Fünen, marked by a lighthouse in Skagen. Let us take a look at the old church of the Skagen. In 1775, it was buried in a sandstorm, and now only the upper part of the tower can be seen. Now let's visit Aalborg. Like so many other Danish towns, Aalborg presents a picture of new and old. Here are the Aalborg's large cement factories, which export cement to all parts of the world. And now for the capital of Denmark, Copenhagen. The quickest way of getting there is, of course, by air. Below us lies Aalborg, connected by a bridge over the Limfjord with its sister town of Nørresundby. And so, farewell to Aalborg as we head southeast for Copenhagen. On the way we pass the lovely castle of Frederiksborg. Copenhagen. 800 years have passed since Bishop Absalon founded the city when he built a fort on the island near the Sound. Today, from our aeroplane, we look down on a city with a population of more than 1 million. Down there to the left is the marble church. To the right lies the palace of Amalienborg, the home of the royal family, and the big open square. Every day at 12 o'clock, the changing of the guard takes place outside the palace, after the new guard has marched through the streets to the gay music of their band. Today, in honor of the king's birthday, they are in full dress, and many of the onlookers are waving small Danish flags. Copenhagen is often called the town of beautiful spires. In the center of the town, the inner town as we say, many historical buildings are topped by a decorative copper spire, now green with the patina of many years. We must, of course, have a bird's eye view of the old town from these spires. On Torvet, where Copenhagen gets its fruit, vegetables and flowers. In the early hours of the morning, the square is crowded with smallholders and dealers selling their produce both to shops and private customers from their little carts. The picturesque fish market of Gammelstrand, with its busy fishwives from Skalshoved, is a favorite tourist attraction. A well-known figure in the Copenhagen street scene is the postman in his bright uniform. A chimney sweep, all ready for the job. Homeward bound after the day's work. On the outskirts of the town, at Bispebjerg, blocks of modern flats have been built with grants from state and municipality. Here also is the Grundtvig church, with its stepped gables resembling a huge organ. It was built as a memorial to our great hymn writer and founder of the folk high schools, NFS Grundtvig. There are many ways of sightseeing in Copenhagen, but the cheapest is no doubt by tram. Here we pass Nyborg, several rows of houses built by Christian IV for the men of the navy. Holman's Church, Thorvaldsen's Museum, the Royal Theatre, and Kongens Nytorv. Now let us look at Copenhagen from the water. We will start our boat trip in Nyhavn, famous for its many sailors' taverns. We are soon in the midst of the lively traffic of large passenger and cargo boats. The passenger boat to Aalborg is just off. Let's go and wave farewell before we continue on our way. past the Little Mermaid, known the world over as the statue of simple beauty and grace. Tivoli has an international reputation, known far and wide as the amusement park with something for every taste. On special occasions, the Tivoli Guard march through the gardens to the gay music of their band, and the fine uniforms of the boys are the delight of the children. But we mustn't forget the amusements. They go up and down and round about in every possible way. And here in the open-air arena are free performances by artists. The day comes to an end all too soon. One by one, the lights of the town are switched on. The neon lights make patterned reflections in the asphalt, and the tourist sees Copenhagen transformed and wonderful. For thousands of colored lamps are lit in Tivoli. Even an ordinary evening seems festive and gay. Then, as the climax of the evening, there is a magnificent display of fireworks to say, thank you for coming.
Thank you, Denmark. Thank you for a lovely trip. We must meet again.
You're always welcome to Denmark.